Well, good morning, everybody. It is 6 a.m. um, Woke up at 4, so I've been up ever since 4. Um, and I'm outside on my deck having a really good cup of coffee. I only put heavy cream in my coffee. I don't know about you guys. Are you guys coffee or tea drinkers? Very rarely do I drink tea. I try. I'll drink herbal tea when I'm sick. I do like chai. And I do like good Earl Grey, but and sometimes I'll get back into tea and I will try it. But um, had a really, really restless night. Just kept my restless legs just kept moving, moving, moving. I kept bothering the dogs, and Motley just peed on my. You know my foamy thing that you sit on or kneel on? Great. Motley, what is your problem? You have a yard out there, all these trees, bushes, different things, and you pee on the wrong things. The dogs are now starting to play. I don't know sometimes if Sheila wants to play. She's an old gal, and Charlotte really plays rough. And there has been, and she doesn't play very nice. Like she'll bite her legs to play, like nip at her legs. And Sheila has taught her to be careful, to be gentle. And Sheila will pin her down. I've seen her take her entire mouth and around Charlotte's neck and just like, that's enough, and push her down on the ground. But you know, Sheila's 14, 15, and Charlotte's just a year old. So, well, there they are. There they go. She's grabbing her and wrestling. Oh, they are funny. Anyway, I did not film anything for July 4th. Got my own reasons, but part of it is I don't have a tripod, and I ended up doing quite a bit of gardening and didn't take you along with me. So I thought I would do just a quick look around the garden this morning to see how things are, making sure the dogs aren't getting into it, because I decided to take the last five tomatoes that I have and plant them in the ditch. I saw a hippie chick in Maine who had a ditch garden, and I was looking at her video about how things were surviving in the heat. And we have, of course, much drier here, and we're in the third degree drought, I think. Well, we're number 3. We're on number 3. Anyhow, and we haven't gotten any rain. But anyway, it's much drier here. There's no humidity, and I thought, that's a really good idea, hippie chick. Planting in the dirt in a ditch like that, and especially like I have this island, this mound that I showed you, kind of just digging a ditch around it. The purpose was to build a burn around it, and I still will do that in the fall when I put the bed to rest. But and then there won't be anything in there in the fall except for the tree and the lilac, not the lilac, the lavender. I might put some fall flowers in there, probably not. I have heard, I've read, I've done some reading, how especially with the new trees that you've planted, that it's good to you can put your garlic around there in the fall. It helps deter, critters coming. And the other thing that's good to plant around your trees is like a ring of narcissus, or jonquils. Not narcissus, but, do we use that word? That's a different flower. So jonquils, which is an interesting word. We call them daffodils. Some good naturalizing ones, because I do want to try to, if I can afford it, get some naturalizing bulbs to put in the yard. Let's go take a look real quick. So here are my tomato plants, and you know, I showed you these, how they're really just doing wonders, and this all of a sudden is going crazy. Now this is, I bought this when I went to the market. It's a lemon boy. It was on sale. I've never tried a lemon boy. I always try something new. And I never buy things like from Bonnie and stuff. I always, you know, so this isn't started as an organic, but anyway, there were two in it, but the roots were so intertwined, even putting water on it, I couldn't get them apart, so I just planted them together. This is going to need a little diatomaceous earth on it. I can see some little flinging, but anyway, look at the blooms already. Right here, I'm gonna pull this. There's some down here. That's why I haven't. When these grow, I'll get, you know, this, because this stem split into two, so I'm not. Then there's one right here. I can't finish a sentence. Sorry. It must be irritating for you. Oh, and then here's my sweet, wonderful calendulas that I started this year from seed. I was going to harvest them and make some calendula oil, but I really haven't got enough, and so I think I'm just gonna let them go to seed and try to save the seeds for next year. I already have some calendula oil that I ordered on Etsy from somebody that is it's really a good oil too. Anyway, I thought I'd show you those tomatoes. And then this one too, this one's just starting to go crazy. And I told you I don't like these grow bags, but this is the one that's doing really well. And it's got some buds on it too. Those, of course, are not doing well at all. Those were just little fledglings. Oh, but I think I'm kind of getting to the point where everything in the garden's just going crazy. Motley, just get away from. I started kind of stacking these a little bit to make it look a little prettier. I'm worried about those marigolds. They haven't budded, and you know, I cannot keep them wet enough, and they're root bound. So I'm kind of thinking they're the giant ones. So I need to put that in the ground today somewhere. So this evening, I don't know where I'm going to put it because it needs a good place. I kind of just want to put it in another pot, which I could use that pot right there. That needs cleaned. Well, anyway, here's what I did last night. And of course, they're going to be sad looking. I need to water them. But I went ahead and put these in the ditch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like one's already tipping over. Then I had 2 peppers left. They're datil peppers. One's there, one's there. So I went ahead and put those 2 in last night. And so I put some dirt on this mound. I just kind of went this way. And I put them in the dirt with mainly some seaweed and some fish emulsion. And we'll see how they do. I'm going to water them right now. I'm going to put some water on them. Oh, look at you, you pretty pepper. Wow. I don't remember which pepper you are. You're looking great. A sweet banana pepper. Well, I do like a sweet banana pepper. Look at all of these baby, they're pretty, but look at all of these baby baby weeds. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the reason they're there is because I used some. You're just not getting very far. I think it's because you're not getting enough sun, maybe. I don't know. But baby weeds. Look at all these baby weeds. So I think this is a regular pumpkin. And so it's just going to go all over the place, and hopefully the dogs don't trample it. I don't know. Well, anyway, I'm gonna, and you know, I really wish I had this shade garden, and last year and the year before, the last 3 years, it was just gorgeous. I had several heucheras. I had some columbines. I had this one beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous blue columbine that was right there. I mean, it was so beautiful. I have pictures of it on Instagram, but it was so beautiful that it didn't even look real. It was one of those kind of things. And the only thing that's left is here is a little baby columbine, and then there's my heuchera, which is, and so I had another heuchera, but you can tell I had a heuchera there. There's the stick from it. I don't know what happened to them. The dogs didn't what's the word, dig them up. So I don't know. One thing I don't think I've shown you recently is how big these have gotten. So this is my double planter here that's been here for a while. What's down in here is tons of oregano. There's two kinds. There's the veg. Oh, I'm going to have to harvest these today because they're starting to go to seed. But I need to harvest this and dry this. Okay, that's today. That's top priority. Yummy, yummy, yummy though. I can't tell the difference between the variegated. Yes, I can. Variegated is a lot milder. Much more milder. This is quite strong. I need to get a hold of Mexican oregano. If anybody knows how to get a hold of Mexican oregano, please let me know. So I'm just going to water these a little bit. Being real early in the morning, it's good to get this all started. I have another one of these planters, except it's not a double. It's just a single, and it's, I think, 6 feet long. I really need to find time to put that together. Boy, that oregano is strong. And it's a really weird thing to put in your mouth for first thing in the morning. Oh my gosh, these beans look great. There's a squash there. I'm not quite sure. There's a squash right there. I'm not sure where that came from, because the only thing I put in here were beans, just bush beans around the edges, and 3 tomatoes in the middle, because I wanted to see how that worked out. Especially since I've been having a really freaking hard time growing any freaking basil. I don't know why I'm struggling growing basil. I really need to feed these. I need to try to remember to feed these. Okay. This poor dirt. Just dirt. I have tried growing things in there. The clover isn't doing, it doesn't matter. I don't want to complain. This corn's looking okay. It transferred sort of okay. Okay, are you even on the right? Okay, I need
I need a watering, or a, whatchamacallit. So the goal is that, you know, I can just water in the ditch as they get bigger. And, you know, the water just goes down. The water stays there. And see how I've just cut these sticks up little? I don't have any more leaf mulch, but I have a lot of sticks. And I even have some more of this bush that I'm getting rid of. So cutting those limbs off and just putting them down with the leaves. Leaves will dry, sticks will dry, and then you just kind of, it acts as a mulch, and it also helps keep the critters away, including my doggies. Okay, you guys, you were my last little baby. You're my last little baby tomatoes. You guys go do some good things. I don't know what species these are. I had them all labeled and realized too late that I didn't use permanent ink. I evidently used a water soluble ink of some sort. And so, of course, through the watering process, all of the sticks went back to clear, or not clear, but, you know, regular wood. And I couldn't read anything on them. And I'm like, oh, that's just great. And there's my little datil pepper. Now, does anybody know what and I hope I'm pronouncing that, D-A-T-I-L, datil. And these, I didn't think they were going to do very well because only 2 came up. And so I'm glad I'm putting them in here. We'll see how they'll probably go through shock for the first couple days. And I may have to put some shade cloth over them, or upside down planter or something, just to keep them protected from the sun. But I got them as a freebie. When you order so much from Baker's Creek, you usually get a free thing of seeds. And last year, or actually January, so this last January, I got a free packet of these peppers. And I had no idea what they were. I looked them up. Well, evidently, according to the internet, the interweb, they are similar in taste to habaneros, but hotter. So they are very, very hot. The Schofield was like, I don't remember what the Schofield was. It was at 4,000 or something. It was just really, really hot. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to eat them, because the older I've gotten, the less I can do spicy. I'm sure that if I put some gloves on and just was cautious about, the seeds and everything, I'd like to at least taste them. But I'm actually growing them for a friend of mine, well, a couple really good friends of mine, and they love hot, spicy stuff. So, and they just moved back from Indiana a couple years ago, and they were like, one of the things we just really struggled with in Indiana, you couldn't find any peppers, even, jalapenos that had any heat to them or any flavor. Everything was just so bland. So they love their spicy. So I'm growing these little tiny babies for them. So hopefully it'll do something. I gotta watch just to make sure the dogs don't get in here. This, I think, is going to be a grand idea, guys. Can't you see next year this whole thing surrounded in tall tomatoes? So I think, because I can dig it out again in the spring. I was originally going to take this ditch like this way, go straight that way. But the dogs like to go around here. So I think I'm just going to round it out. I'm going to bring it out about right here. I think I'll take the ditch and go this way and this way, and then connect it right there. And then So I've got a little bit more, or quite a bit more to dig. I already found some pipes that I need to be really careful with right here, and I need to get a flag or something to put there. Anyway, oh, you are so pretty, you lavender. Do you guys talk to your plants? Do you talk to your plants? Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna, I found I moved my chair over here, and I'm just, okay. Things are, things are starting to grow now. Things have gotten quite a bit bigger. I know I should water towards the ground. I'm going to have to get in here and weed eventually, but there's some things that I think all of this right here, can you see those? All of those I think are, finally my zinnias are coming up. I planted a whole bunch of zinnias right here. And then right here too. So I'm hoping those are zinnias. I see some binder weed that I need to pull. Binder weed is just the vein of my existence. See, it's this stuff right here. And we call it binder weed because it's basically a vine, and it just grows and grows and grows over everything and chokes it out. I haven't really been able to find any the beneficials of that of that weed. Although they do have a pretty decent root system, if you can get them when they're little, you can get quite a bit up. I think that's my zinnias. I'm so excited. That will look great. That's my tomato. We had a couple strawberries here that didn't make it. It molded. It went under the ground too much. And they just didn't. They don't do well. We have a hard time with strawberries. I think I'm gonna save up for a green stack. I really want a green stack, and I would like to grow strawberries in that. That's the one thing that my granddaughter eats a lot of, so I really would like to have my own strawberries and then freeze them and make things and that kind of thing. Here's the raspberries. I see some raspberries on there. Still really tiny raspberries though. I don't understand why they're so tiny. Oh, the corn's peeking up. Transplant fever. I tell you, I waited way too late. But sea kelp really helps bring them out of it. There's room here to plant a few things. I did put some beans around here, so I'm not going to go throwing anything in there yet. I just put some regular beans around the corn. I was going to plant some more corn because I didn't know if this stuff was going to make it, but I really don't have time. Corn takes a while, and yep, I'm just watering weeds. Okay, why am I watering weeds? Because you don't know where the seeds are, Misty. That's why you're watering weeds. You don't remember where you put them. I know I put them against the fence, kind of around the corn. I don't think I put anything here. Oh, Misty. The tomatoes are okay, everything is starting to really perk up. I'm excited. That is just great, because these were looking peaked for a while. They were really tiny. So maybe those other ones have a chance. Gosh, I have a lot of tomatoes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And those 2 broccolis are just still hanging out. I think I planted that geranium in the wrong place. It'll be dug up and taken in the house. So will the peppers. All the peppers, if they survive, will be taken into the house. All right. I think that's good enough for a morning spritz. I'm not really. I kind of deep watered. I watered a little last night, and I gotta remember. No, I fed everything in here. I gotta remember to feed everything in my planters. So I'm gonna. Oh, I gotta water my marigolds like crazy. Yep, I think those are the mammoth ones, and they are not budding, so they need to be transplanted and fed really, really well. And then I'll get some buds out of them, hopefully. I mean, come on. That's the reason. I usually don't put marigolds in a pot, but I don't know why I did that. So, have you guys ever seen one of these hoses to where, when you turn it off, it retracts? I love it, and I love this head. Although I think I haven't found anything that doesn't leak. I already have leaks at the base, and just getting all the water out of it. Well, it's gonna drag some of the dog stuff. Looks like a dog is digging a hole there. Oh, guys, I used to have all of this was clover. Everything was doing so well in the spring. And I try to hang it up right here on my window. If it'll hang there today. No, it's not going to. Oh, I just hurt myself. How do I hurt myself? I pinched myself. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave it there for this morning. Oh, Motley, you waiting for me, baby? Are you waiting for me, sweetheart? Here, let me see where you... Look what Mama did. I pinched something. Okay. What you doing? What you doing? Huh? Shall we crochet a little bit? Should we crochet a little bit and have some more coffee? All right. Well, good evening. I don't know what time it is. I think it's 8:30. I did not work in the garden tonight. I just was really tired all day. I take that back. I did work a little bit. I can share with you, but I'm sitting on the porch, and it's dusk. It's just beautiful. I don't know what temperature is, but it's just perfect. And I set up a tub with some soapy water because I wanted to bathe my dog, my puppy. She caught on to it, and so was not able to coax her, and I wasn't going to pick her up. And I think because of her anxiety and everything, it's because I've never done this before. I've taken her into my shower, but I thought it'd be fun to get her used to this kind of style, just a soapy tub and, whatever. Anyway, so I decided to put my feet in it tonight because it's cool. When I walk around and I work during the day, and even if I don't, well, I'm always getting up and down off of my chair for something. So it's not like I'm just sitting in the chair doing absolutely nothing. Although I haven't been crocheting lately, which I'm not quite sure what that's about. I don't know if it's because, well, I don't have the yarn for a project that I've designed, and I was going anyway. So I figure I'll put my feet in it. I'm not even gonna mess with her. She can walk around and see that I'm not gonna even try to get her wet, and and that's the way it is. She's so, where are you, Charlotte? All my plants. And there she is. Hey, Charlotte, baby. Come here, sweetie pie. And so here's my big tub. This is actually a hydroponic tub that I just kind of was gifted from somebody a long time ago. Well, not gifted, just it kind of got left here. And it's been sitting in the corner on the side of my house.
I think for the longest time I thought somebody had already, ditched it or something. But I saw it and I thought, I'm going to use that this summer. Since we are in a drought, we can't have any big pool. We can't keep the sprinklers on or nothing, but I could at least keep a little bit of water in here for people to dip their feet in, or the dogs, or whatever, you know. It's just nice to be able to, you know, keep a washcloth here and, just kind of do what you need to. But it's absolutely beautiful out. I've got these cute little lights. I bought those fairy lights back there, and I thought they were in the warm tone, but they turned out cool, so they don't match. But my granddaughter likes them. I really let's see. Can you even see? I'll go this way. Okay. Anyway, here's what things look like at night, and my dogs are doing what they're doing. So, what I did do at one point is I came out here and cleaned this and filled it. Filled all my. I had to come out and spray the ground in my garden where the squash was, because it was really shriveling. They just did not do well in the heat. We were at 97 today. So even though I watered this morning, it wasn't a really like deep water, and I don't have enough. I've mulched over there, but not enough. I just don't have enough mulching material. I gotta find, there's a pine tree over in the corner. I might look and see what's on the ground. But anyway, I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Gathering Basket. Stephanie and Danielle, they're in Maine, and Stephanie was talking about how important it was for her to keep certain crops because they store well, and that they use them all the time. And one of the things that they use a lot is carrots. And so she was showing off her carrots today, which looked amazing, by the way. And I have had a really difficult time this year sprouting any carrots in the ground. I do think I ended up with some in a pot, just kind of willy-nilly, however that happened. So and she was talking about how she was going to do another crop in succession, and even though they wouldn't reach, large status, they would still be edible and still, whatever. So I was thinking I might as well try again. So I've been looking around for where I could do some more carrots. And I was showing you this Grow Basket, and I was actually going to get rid of it. I ended up going through that today and dumping everything out. And I was really pleasantly surprised, because one of the things I did with quite a few of my grow baskets, or my grow bags, or whatever, was put some leaf litter, maybe some sticks, organic matter, some shredded paper, a variety of different things that can give nutrients to your roots. It's kind of compost in place idea. And so I did that with this. And, well, anyway, I ended up taking everything out of it, because I thought I'm just going to take everything out of it and get rid of it. But the soil in here was excellent. It was really good. I think the reason my tomato didn't do well is because it just wasn't a good tomato. It wasn't a good, strong tomato, and I wasn't too sad about it. And I thought, this is a really good size to grow carrots. It's not big enough, and of course I'll find some other place to put carrots. But as I got closer to the bottom, it became richer, and then I found worms, and I was like, whoa. So I ended up dumping everything out, and I decided to do the same thing. So I went and I weeded, and I have a lot of grass back here. Now, the only thing that's going to be interesting is that I think I got some roots, and I don't know, but I just started pulling stuff that's kind of over here. And then I cleaned up the ground of my deck over there that really needed cleaned. And there was a lot of leaves over there and some dirt and, whatever. And I put that in the very bottom, and then I went over to my peach island and where I needed to dig a little bit more, which I did, and I started scooping up some dirt. I wanted to use some of that dirt, the topsoil over there. Well, it's not really topsoil, but some of the soil underneath where the clay and the sand was, and I brought that over and put that in the bottom because, as everything decomposes and moves around with that original soil of mine, and it's got some beneficial stuff in it. It's not totally dead. It's got more stuff in it than usually a bag of soil does for potting mix. But anyway, I put that in there. It was heavy, but I also mixed it with some of the stuff that was in my wagon. I don't know what you call this. It's a gorilla wagon. I couldn't afford a wheelbarrow at the time because I wanted a really good one, and this just happened to catch my eye, and I got this instead, and it's just been wonderful. Unfortunately, it's turned into where I mix my soil, so nothing else, it's not utilized for anything else. Especially in the summer. I mean, I need to store that soil somewhere else so I can actually use the damn wagon. Anyhow, so I started filling it up. Then I put the lighter stuff on top. I watered, little sea kelp, watered, and there it is. I'm not going to fill it like clear to the top. It doesn't, as long as if it's a carrot. So I started looking. I don't really think I have very many carrot seeds. That's the one thing that I might have to run to a nursery tomorrow, which I don't want to do. I hate going shopping. But I do think it'd be faster to just go to a nursery and pick something up than order it online. Although I really want to try what they're using Scarlet Nance, and I've never used that before, so I thought, well, it stores well for them, so I think that's what I'd like to do. So I've got a little bit of money in my pocket, not much. I don't get my check for a while. I tell you, this administration has really messed up my Social Security stuff. Anyway, so I did that, and then my sweet daughter made hamburgers for everybody. Her best friend was over. The baby's at Dad's. Of course, she's not a baby, but she's at Dad's for the 4th of July weekend. And then, so I had a nice hamburger with an egg on top and a few fries, not much, and a popsicle. My popsicles are all gone. I ate the last one. I went through those way too fast, ladies and gents. Way too fast. I just don't eat, and instead I'll have a popsicle, and well, that doesn't help in the end, if you know what I mean. So a person needs to eat solid food, but I don't feel like eating. I just struggle. I ate tonight. I didn't have the whole thing, but I ate a little tonight, so at least I got some protein. But as far as gardening is concerned, my tomatoes over there look really great in the ditch. I think I might plant some potatoes in the other side of the ditch. I know it's too late for potatoes, but I could just leave them in the ground until next year. But anyway, it's starting to get dark. Can you see me? Am I fuzzy around the edges? Maybe I look a little bit more demure, and no, I don't. I don't know. It's just dark. So I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope everybody had a very safe and peaceful, joyful July 4th weekend, and recharged for the next week. Tomorrow's Monday. Woo! My granddaughter comes back tomorrow, early morning, and she and I'll get back to it, whatever that means.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for some of the new subscribers. And I will catch you on the flip side. I don't know when that will be, but I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.